Hi guys, and welcome to another video on the winner field. And you, this is your NXT review for last night's episode. But before we get into the episode review, guys, I want to write down a summary of the episode. This episode is kind of more storyline angle, but is rather or rather than my actual but I thought it was a decent entry into NXT content and continuity. So I'll start off obviously because he given his hometown Houston, Texas. They're on the own of tonight's show. Um, although I did have a bit of a senior moment, guys. Basically, confused Bill H. Monroe, uh, or reality wrestling, of and Onicum and the road that is a bit of a howl. To be honest, and if you've seen Onic as post like Arden as she kinda took and get dressed, then she said the book of you has shown me some more of this web like it my robe with them high and say are you also something like that is yeah, or the reaction that was a funny at was a funny yeah from book of E um Bill, let's just say it is a bit of a howl from him in his hometown, but like Joseph actually about um about autumn um and he said book us fired up because NXT's in his hometown but as Harvey is on his way um out to the inside Jacy's area trying to fire up trying to fire up soul ah soul for the 8 person tag match. A lot of a lot of people actually thought that Zaria and Soldier are having an argument, but I'm in agreement with Seeley. So who basically he said that the two are trying hype each other up for a match. So it's Soul, McCartan's Aria, and then they team up with the NXT tag champs Hank and Tank, and on the opposite side you have all three members of the Killing Power or Tatum Pack. So and Tatum Pack eh, as the weeks go on seems to be given a generally fitting a bit better into the um into the faction so so it's a lot more natural in the faction. Obviously this match was probably the most chaotic and exciting of the night. There's too many spots to remember, so I'll just go through some of the highlights of the match. So actually does a dive on the outside, and she takes out over and she's the bruiser of the kill, and Arya will then take out Sean Spears with an F5, etc. There's mass chaos until we hear the word here we go. Oh, and that's minutes music starts and their amps up so they cause they cause a major distraction, and essentially Um, essentially, this was the following up the warning to Hank and Tank about them being in contention for the tag titles. So basically, what it does is it distracts him, Arya, and the ring, who's kind of on top of take them back. So she's getting the better of Pat. So and what should us pack? So is a simple over on Zaria when the heights come back up, gets the victory and the Calvin walk out um okay, and else, but yeah, just a continuation on the dark state, so on the dark state sort of aside of things, how- what Fred and for asked to each, but then when they get to a pre-taped video of Earl here on in the evening, Jordan Race tries to take up tries to take up tries to take up oh, it and the rose offer to be inside them or her goes a billion match, but Ava puts a stop that as Jordan Gray is apparently suspended by Eva for attacking Stevie on and Roberts to own the Evolve. Um, yeah, basic kill, and that was Jordan's reaction was to eat to this way. Oh, it's another rose, a trailblazing kill, and that obviously led to Stevens won't get getting attacked last um last week obviously is it can kinda still see entrance but in the end UCC obviously Avion and Charlie the in the back are still arguing Ailes on shows up to show support or inside kill here for um um and how Toronto I as obviously she's the hometown Arrow and should be going up against but it come and and football it come on the roadside match but the next major segment or by the just before we get to the actual maybe see Giovanni Evans and the back killer and actually discussing with himself from what the next stage of his career is and basically he's throughout the night where you see Yvonne actually take down Oates and get a device for Shiki and Mura and you see him getting a device for Akis says LMO horror on, but yeah, and he gets a final bit of advice or somebody legendary features a bit later on in the show. Obviously, Javon annoys Chadwick Williams a bit later on as well. Also, yeah, he's still taking down the Oats throughout the night, but the next major segment want to talk about is the JCJ, as the JCJ and sort of title celebration promo. JC belts has shown it'll be effective when one for now on till the end of time. She defeated Asha Slamovich at TNA Slammiversary on Sunday. Um, so now she holds both the NXT Women's title and the TNA Knockouts Championship. Also as well, Chirac Williams defended the TNA World Heavyweight champion, so he's still the TNA World Champion. So the two the two sort of historic major titles are now on to NXT heel superstars, but yeah, I don't know about the on the possible actual possession of DNA, yesterday. So if you want to check that out, you can. But yeah, the SM segment as a the SM segment and as a continuation of um as segment as a continuation of the tension between Jasmine Nixon and JCJ and basically but JC actually he said that she runs a men's so when again nobody or she could achieve it. She also said she also said she did on it by herself. She didn't have any help except the other two as a faithful influence so we could how next especially especially Jasmine X who's basically been joined at the hip a moment of JCG and ever since Jasmine was brought onto TV. Um so yeah so it's area obvious that are trying to do some sort of some sort of storyline for action between the was and I think Jasmine will eventually on babyface at some point because she's genuinely the on the job so with the end of the day you have to job about the different action and she's obviously been treated as more the as more the rookie and and obviously ACG in has kind of been as respectful to odds in recent weeks on screen, in so this is my manifesting itself into the next big storyline. Obviously, obviously. UJEC says there's nobody on her level and both ENA and NXT and that actually rumps him actual agent amount and then her she says she's got the criteria to take the NXT title Jane, but she's also got the pedigree to take the Jenny knocked out and before she can finish out comes Jada now he did actually he says to Mama actually says oh agent that um even though she, even though that she wasn't put as to a film she's a form in the back or oil it's hard it's hard shot to it's hard shot to laughter on the champion Jada don't take se extra Jacy Jacy gets back on them I can actually is it's really so the two of you both even your own height but get them get arrows meaning a foul and then Jasmine but you're the what and to start the beat so Jacy so Jacy tries so Jacy tries to throw the first punch but is kinda unsuccessful and come to unlock but Jada and Ash hold um um have a bit of a have a bit of an equal confrontation etc and yeah that's the end the segment so the next electronic uh is Ricky Saints versus is Jazz or Troy now. Now basically the this match I felt is a bit sort of underwhelming as basically the definition of the match kinda got screwed up. I get the fact that they tried or up the ramp basically so that so that the spot in a ramp could happen but obviously the watchers only are on in the match but we'll get to that in a second I just actually felt this match I just actually felt this match was kinda a predictable. Oh, you kinda know what you're gonna get if Jazz or Troy essentially a very sort of smash mouth ego he's kinda got on or a bustle room and he does have some ability but this match was basically all power against quickness and obviously now we'll talk about the spot up the ramp so that this actually spills out on the ramp. Eh, and essentially, um, what this bottom is supposed to be is obviously a Jasper with kind of spill ash or like a saint for the ramp and the ramp probably kind of even but essentially it kind of hill and on Ricky he thinks without too much pressure and the camera never really picked it up either. So basically what it was after that is Vic Joseph Vic Joseph had to cover that home as uh, um uh, and um, say, or the impact of these two superstars actually broke because of the severity that's fight. Essentially, essentially, the SM is a bit of a sort of excuse. Anyway, just ask or gets in and yeah, again, I'm not a fan of out sort of all vacations. It keeps both guys protect but that much to work on the end and then my match kinda did to the actual a harm. But yeah, as or Troy picks up the victory. Yeah, outcomes, um, outcomes, Trick Williams, outcomes, Trick Williams to call out the under. Or obviously, it's Trick obviously, Trick kind of what's out his big victory at Seoul anniversary against this he also Henry Average Joe and against the top curriculum Santana. Uh, he was on to say I performed in the big I performed in front of the big STEM crowd in ENA history. I'm ENA's greatest champion, the greatest world champion, I should say. Um, and um, and then ENA for whatever being honest, or like, and uh, I'm holding to her and on my shoulders right now, and I don't give a damn about Undertaker's LFB team. Undertaker's trying to protect those. I, I'm trying to protect those kids. Um, Rims the epinentima of iron ein but the truth of his Undertaker's go on soft. he might be a legend, but he's got unsoft, so out comes Undertaker to his alright American and to his and he's American badass themes on that show. It's a classic kid or song and I really like this song um once again and it sort of the out the uh, famous war and here says and suck my oh so basically Undertaker Sinner and he says to Chirac Williams you've got it all Chirac you've got the TNA World Championship you've got nice bow and you've got you've got a jacket made out of you've got a cool cowboy, you've got the charisma, and you've got all the tools to be alright, but and and you will on the NXT champion, um, and you were the NXT champion, you bust it, your ass above the any respect. All you wanted to help elevate the whole brand, but um, your attitude is on your humbleness is on I have no respect more eh, and then that's what I'm trying to teach my LFG team to the access nobody has had the about you your LFG team um with just I'm old and so I know so I know she want me to put you out a pasture I suggest you get out my ring and undertake of and um and undertaker says to Shrek if you want to step up to me you should I can make you famous so then Shrek Williams tries to hold the first punch but Undertaker gives him the actual so and that ends a segment and he thought that segment actually he thought that segment was enjoyable. Oh, it's very um it's very noticeable now that that WWE as a whole are now seeing Chirac as a hot commodity and obviously having him toe to toe going toe to toe with if Undertaker are as obviously as obviously the exclamation point on the and so I enjoyed that the segment track actually in Ross as a star and obviously it's good actually you see the Undertaker and any so yeah, um, because Undertaker is one of my um childhood heroes. So to see to see this Horizon stuff are gonna up against the Undertaker, I thought it was a very good segment and obviously tracks um and obviously tracks are the years already set in stone anyway. I think he will eventually go into the Hall of Fame regardless of his main roster or because he's holding the TNA heavyweight championship despite still being contracted on NXT. So it's obvious that he'll be going into the Hall of Fame and he'll be certainly in event or on the main roster. Obviously, obviously now, of Jacy James, Jacy James, but are he'll be in the Hall of Fame for holding the DNA Knockouts championship as well. So yeah, so NXT performers already having that Hall of Fame style accolade. To be honest, um, in the back though, in the back, ironically enough, you see Michelle who's obviously the wife of the Undertaker, a cheap, I think this is a cheap pill for on the 6 feet under a podcast to hear the Undertaker and Michelle host in that asked, but anyway, she said, so he says to Faith, oh, well, I'm Philip, and so talk, Eva about getting your, he's from next to, Jasmine can take Andre apart, or, Jasmine can take, Jasmine can take Andre apart, or, um, and then Fallon can take on and Fallon can take on a strong agent. Jacy the um Jacy the and responsible if fans get more of a chance of beating beating uh, a beating agent that and Jasmine has, so you bet are off akin to Ada Parker or Jasmine. And again, that kind of eats into the whole sort of tension between the um a- again again I enjoyed I seeing I enjoy seeing the agents in Hall of Fame as a year and obviously shells a Hall of Fame or an owner. I but I would advise Jacy Jane not to assume if she because I know what his I know what Michelle is all. I if you've actually seen if you've actually seen the last or related documentary series, um that's a very scary woman, as obviously it follows Undertaker through the last few years of his in-ring career, and you see some home footage of um Undertaker, and he's at home and it's just same Michelle doesn't eat any shit. But yeah, um, but yeah, interesting segment. Um, so then we like to the in rings and goes debut of 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 well, another oh who's going up against Rensing Show. Yeah, obviously Sancho yeah, has got a good aim, except a couple arm drags and stuff here in the here. Obviously, though it's not enough, and obviously, another all hits back from a side drop kick, um, um, a side drop kick, so, and, uh, it, obviously, think, yeah, tries to get some or offense and but another all hits up with the butterfly IDDE and gets a victory. Obviously, obviously the decision here and the uh, and yeah. And I think Murray and actually he showed a bit of but it was very short and so he it did what it said in the can, but as soon as but he tries to get on the mic, Jordan or um Jordan get his for Angel but I can't there uh, and tries to get revenge on the robot attack I can and they're over with it and a butterfly did on a steel chair and it sets up um and it sets up an interesting feud in both my and her and her ace. I'm really looking forward to the eventual match. So yeah, then uh, so yeah, so yeah, the next segment is Ethan Age comes out and he says, um, he's the greatest NXT of American champion. He's the greatest NXT of American champions. 17 Americans have held this illustrious belt, but they've never had the same amount of ass as me. I'm a Canadian, so basically he runs down America, he runs down Houston, Texas, and he and actually he says that um, as a version of the NXT of American Championship no longer represents he and and he tosses it and he tosses it out the ring to unveil unveil the new NXT of American Championship but if a Canadian um, if a Canadian strap around it. He says he's the greatest of American champion again, and he also actually he says his parents made the right decision for him moving from Yugoslavia to Canada to obviously um 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 obviously or hang him up. Obviously, he then says the food beds are in Canada, our education system, etc. etc. Outcomes and Arel, who's the director of operations and ENA, is essentially ENA's general manager as he spoke Eva is it Elson age you are not going to on down the great people with access. I chose to raise my family in Canada. Uh, it, say, but you're not going but you're not going to bash the great hard to working people with access. I'm challenging you for the North American Championship. So that's confirmed. So that's confirmed the next Econ NXT. It could be a very good it could be a very good match. And yeah, this could go either. um, this could go either direction. It would be nice to get an NXT championship over because it's kinda getting all about one side. He, but obviously, um, it's just just announced the new version in the North American Championship. So I don't think that's going to happen personally. Eh? Um, but yeah, Ethan Page is a great heel, and yeah, he just kind of gets into the role perfect. Yeah, obviously, that segment on Sun, tries to get, um, um, tries to get each of the opera, but each actually manages to slide out the ringing time, and yeah, that takes either that. Obviously, in the back, you see tension between Avion Heights um, Avion Heights and Charlie Sailor inside. Yeah, tries to calm both guys down. Obviously, I was um, I was on his back just can get a chilling in on our efforts against Bill Ake obviously oh, he comes and the and he sa- and then and he says hold on a minute guys you seem have unfinished business, so I'm gonna speak Eva, and I'm gonna get organized next week. Um, Avion Heights versus Charlie, say, and Avion, and he's out of the UCEC, but if Charles and um, Avion's is and I was born, you can say, because Charles he had said to Charles he had said to on to a off basic till he obviously obviously you get a confrontation between you get a confrontation between um um X's 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 um and I whose office with and has been has been put on had on some noise cancellation head on as a point to actually use but on not um or actually uh but I use the end on by I saying yes I'm uh but 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 everybody are until she's what I'm so it's very obvious that they are trying to build a shop as a feud, and it'll be very interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see the direction, and then the main event over for it defeats Animura and Josh are eggs in a triple and a triple threat match for the NXT Championship. Yeah, very um very good very good match. Here was a lot was if alls etc. Josh per accent animals are inshipper over as an or had over for dead or eight but Josh but exhibit but he can up over for bullet and hit Josh but exit the end of the match at the end of the match if the fall from Hurry is over gets the victory in after the match Josh or X and Yusuke and have a bit of a fight. Josh but X smashes in the murder's head into the steps etc. So yeah, it's very obvious that that's a new that's a new and it's been out for a oh and and obviously you see Undertaker Avenger Von Evans instead of Ace of you go after the biggest organ you aren't you are saying yourself what's next job is after the biggest organ yarn and yeah I so solid 8 out of 10 of very enjoyable show very story driven based um very story driven based and the matches and or short or but yeah sometimes that happens but I enjoyed it I enjoyed the I enjoyed the Undertaker Trick Williams segment and especially and the fatal influence of Arthur and is really intrigued in I'm enjoying it. I'm showing my I O's has organised it very has organised it brilliant eh, and he's put together another fantastic NXT. It's the best show. It's the best show of the week in terms of wrestling, and he did and he deserves to be and he deserves to be all of these. Yeah, but yeah, guys, but yeah, guys, that's my thoughts. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all for another video. I'll see you all for another video soon.